Is it enough to rehearse a set of mechanics and ceremonies in order to achieve excellence at product development scaling? Is an adaptive and empowering mindset really necessary? Why do so many attempts to evolve toward greater agility fall short, particularly at scale? Welcome to Agile Scaling Foundations with Barry Hawkins. Please be sure to like and subscribe. This video series is based on training that I've delivered over the years, both as a product development leader building teams internally and as a consultant helping clients scale their organizations. In this episode, I'll continue with the second set of underlying cultural assumptions that are key to scaling effectively with Agile, particularly when using team of teams. Holistic product vision. As our product is growing and scaling, and we are growing and scaling with it, it's going to become increasingly crucial that we're listening to each cross-functional discipline and the input they have around the product and how we're evolving it. We can no longer continue to cry more, more, more. You're not Billy Idol. I'm looking at you, product management. Additionally, we need to have an explicit focus on the technical architecture and testability of the product. As we evolve, if we are not keeping an eye on that, what we're going to find over time is that the incremental cost of introducing each new feature or making each new change is just going to become greater and greater and greater because we haven't kept an eye on extensibility, flexibility, modularity, and crucially, testability. Alignment, not consensus. It's important to call out the distinction here that with consensus, we are continuing to discuss and work through an item until everyone agrees with it. However, with alignment, we are working through a discussion, talking about an area where there's disagreement, and getting enough agreement in order to align and move forward. This may seem like a pedantic distinction, but I can assure you that it is not. Because there will be some people who hear the word consensus and actually think that if they don't agree, everyone's just going to sit there with them and keep debating it until they give up trying to convince this person, or they are somehow going to win this person over eventually. Not unlike a filibuster. But that's not what this is about. You can't be nimble and move quickly if you have to argue everyone into full agreement. As we're moving and navigating all of this uncertainty, we're going to have to become comfortable with the fact that while we might not agree with or prefer every single thing that's being introduced into the product, we generally have enough agreement and feel like the overall direction is in enough alignment in order for us to continue and move forward and not continue discussing and debating this thing in circles. Comfort with uncertainty. Oh boy. Well, where do I start? What you may find as your organization is growing and scaling is that some of the people who are joining you come from prior experiences where uncertainty was completely unacceptable. And so, in service of that belief, there would be massive amounts of time documenting and diagramming every possible thing that could, would, maybe, might go wrong. And the presentation of this copious documentation is what makes the organization overall feel like we've all done our job and nothing will go wrong. Now, it's not that anyone who's participated in this ceremony believes that that's actually what happens. It's just a form of corporate dysfunctional theater that we've all become comfortable with, perhaps. And if we're going to scale well with agility, we have to embrace the fact that there's always uncertainty involved in product development. Because most of the time, you're doing something that you haven't done yet with your product. Otherwise, why are you doing what you're doing? And quite possibly, it's something that hasn't been done at all in your product ecosystem. It's part of the reason why you're here. It's probably part of the reason why your product is taking off. So let's not maintain an unhealthy obsession with the removal of uncertainty, but rather drive toward enough certainty around direction to begin pursuit. but then embrace and be comfortable with the fact that the things that are uncertain are going to become more certain over time as we're executing. Because part and parcel with the approach that we're taking is to fold our learnings of execution into what we're going to do with the remainder of time and effort that we have to take this product or this experience to the place that we want it to be. A culture of testing and learning. Similar to embracing uncertainty, having a culture that embraces testing and learning is absolutely essential to product development at scale with agility. With testing and learning, we have a framework for addressing uncertainty. That is, we don't need to have a watertight, bomb-proof solution in order to move forward. We need to have a workable and thought-through hypothesis around what we think would address a given need, and then we pursue it together with tests for that hypothesis. We execute on the hypothesis, we test it, and then we take the results of those tests, and those results are learning. And that learning is what we fold into our direction going forward. I can tell you with 20 years, actually more than 20 years at this point, of having done this, if you embrace the existence of uncertainty, and if you approach it with a mindset of testing and learning, there is nothing you can't work through to take your product to where it needs to be and where you want your product and your organization to go. We need to have an explicit focus. This may seem like a pedantic decision. The overall direction is still in our UI, asset pipelines, and back-end. I'm gonna have to redo this to ensure that UX has a voice, and ensuring that the user journeys through the different parts of the product are being kept. Ensuring that our technical. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notifications icon so that you'll be first to know when new Agile Scaling Foundations episodes and other product development videos are uploaded. If you'd like to know how you can work with me, check out the link in the description below. For the next episode of Agile Scaling Foundations, check out the video up here. For the entire Agile Foundation series, check out the playlist down here. Again, I'm Barry Hawkins. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.